I'll be right here. Kind of covers the base in between, like the gaps.
All right, so we're gonna go over this season's recap. It's over. We're now in January. Last pretty much week of gun season, and we got about another month of bow, which is really tough hunting. I mean, the deer have been pressured to the freaking max. So let's go over. I want to know, everybody, what was their favorite part of the season, or just the whole outdoor thing that we did this year? What was their favorite part?
Pennsylvania.
You think PA? Oh yeah.
And okay, so we haven't really had a chance to talk. We haven't been able to film a bunch. The film we got in PA wasn't the best stuff.
No, we had some technical difficulties.
Yeah.
Sure. We lost some stuff.
Yeah, and then it ended up being like sunny one day, monsoon one day, snow one day.
Oh yeah. I mean, you've seen some of the stuff on our YouTube. It snowed hard one day.
We always make a joke in Ohio, you get every season in 1 week, but legitimately we got every season in 1 week in PA.
We did.
But okay, so let's do this. Favorite memory from PA, Rick? What do you got? Yeah.
Well, down there in the bottom, hanging out down there in the bottom, shooting at all the deer.
We got to explain to them the bottom joke.
The bottom. Yeah, they talk a little different down there. I guess the Pennsylvania Dutch is a real thing. I didn't know.
This isn't us making fun of anybody.
I'm not making fun of anybody from Pennsylvania that has the bottom speech. I mean, it threw me for a loop.
We all got yelled at by our wives for coming home and spending the next week saying, "Yeah, get over there in the bottom of the cabinet."
I did that for a month,
dude. Yeah. You said it today. I was like, flashbacks.
It's everything is in the bottom of the drawer.
Use guys. Yeah, everything's pluralized.
It's just a different way. But the nicest people I've met ever.
I mean, I had all around great trip. I didn't kill any deer, but I got opportunity. I took some shots. I mean, I didn't know my bow was 6 inches high until we went down there, and I shot 6 inches over her back in a couple days. So
yeah. Well, favorite memory besides boredom?
The snow day.
Yeah, that was pretty wild.
That was my first time hunting in snow like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It was interesting, and you had a deer come up on you.
And I had a deer come up on me on a scrape. It was on a scrape, maybe 30 yards behind me. That was the day that I found out my bow was shooting 6 inches high.
Right. And we found some good stuff. I mean, it was fun. We've never did an out-of-state trip. I don't think anybody here has stayed in a campsite and roughed it, per se, for a week.
I mean, did we really rough it, though? I mean, we had a shower, we had a shitter.
Well, that's why I said rough it.
Yeah, it wasn't really roughing it, but it was definitely not getting an Airbnb and glamping. But your favorite memory from that week?
Oh, man. I mean, we called in a buck. I had a buck run past me. We have never... Man, it's so hard. We went out and spotlighted for deer, and it's called shining. We've never done that because in Ohio, that's what poachers do. But with a gun. But we learned the rules in Pennsylvania. We're like, wow, what an advantage to see where the deer are moving at night and to be able to move in on them the next day and figure out just where the concentration of deer is. It's awesome. That might have been my favorite times when we jumped in the truck and we went spotlighting and we fought about who was holding the light.
Well, I was always the one driving, but it took us a while to come to terms with the fact that it is perfectly legal. We looked it up 300 times because it just we tried it the first night. We're like, man, this feels sketchy.
It feels wrong.
Yeah, it feels wrong, but it does give you the intel. If we would have started from the jump street of doing it, we probably could have got more deer. Is that your favorite memory?
Yeah, I'd say so.
My favorite memory, God's honest, was the last night. The bomb pit, the fire.
Fucking use guys threw a beer can in the fire.
So we'll get more context, but Rick,
don't do anything illegal or remotely not illegal that feels illegal with him.
Yeah, so Jeffrey will get you arrested even if you're doing everything illegal because he's so sketchy when he talks. He just looks like he does some illegal activity. But
I wasn't doing anything wrong.
No,
I don't know we weren't.
Well, I'll tell you the full story.
Even if you drive 45 with your seatbelt on and use your blinkers.
He's swerving because a cop pulled out. He gets sketchier when a cop pulls out on him. But the funny part is, so everybody's done the aluminum beer can and the fire trick. If you haven't done it, it explodes.
Here, let's save you a little bit of headache and time.
I was like,
At a campsite, don't do it.
Yeah, it was.
Don't recommend.
At 10 o'clock to 10:30, don't do it when you have a raging bonfire at a campsite. And
in our defense, it wasn't at the campsite. There was one other person there.
Yeah.
And that happened to be the person that we apparently scared the hell out of because he dipped out after it happened like we shot a gun. But he called the police on us because, well, when we threw in the fire, we heard it fizz. We thought it just popped open.
it just kind of petered out.
And keep in mind, we're going to not leave it in the fire pit. We cleaned up every bit of trash in that campsite. It actually looked better than what we got there. But
disclaimer.
Yeah, but the explosion, it just happened as soon as we walked away from the fire. We're like, yeah, let's back up a little bit. It was loud as hell. I ain't gonna lie to you.
It made a hissing sound.
Yeah.
And that freaked us all out.
So we got up and moved, and good thing because it shot out where Jeffrey was sitting. But
Right
okay,
where he
and
was
then
sitting.
20 minutes go by. I walked out to my truck, which is like 20 feet from the campsite, to get a pair of wool socks for the next day. And I look over and I see these lights. I'm like, hey, there's some cops here. And Jeffrey thought it was the funniest thing in the world because I was lying. And then as soon as they walked up, he shut up pretty quick. But let's just say they asked what was going on. The cop directed the question to Jeffrey, and Jeffrey folded like a lawn chair.
Use guys
threw a beer in the fire. And I look at Rick like, damn.
Meanwhile, hold on, mind you, I had just took a scoop out of a peanut butter jar with a spoon. Like I was eating a peanut butter popsicle. and what was it, 6? It was 3 Stadies and like 3 Game Boys.
Yeah.
Rolled up.
Yeah. And then, long story short, I ended up talking to the guy, all of them, and then we ended up making jokes.
Yeah, they ended up coming over and talking to us, asking how hunting was in Ohio.
Yeah, and
they were cool once they figured out.
Well, they come to Ohio. I wonder. Yeah. I wonder if they did any good.
I don't know if you did.
They were planning a trip to Ohio, and they were just asking us questions about it.
Because everybody in PA hunts. Everybody.
And the cops, once we explained them what we did, they started laughing. They looked at the guys next to them. Like, yeah, we've all done the same shit. Everybody does degenerate stuff. We were there for 7 days before that. So, a little cabin fever, started messing around. And
I think we did pretty good. We ran a pop-up camper. We tarped it up real good because it rained the first 3 days. Like the whole time, we were like, oh, it's going to clear up. Get up to like a snowstorm. But, hey, we were wrapped up like, a condom.
Essentially, yeah. So we had 3 tarps. We had one 25 by 20 tarp in the middle and then 2 smaller tarps on the side, and then it was just like Fort Knox. It didn't leak, thank God, because the one day it rained non-stop.
I mean, really, we really should have videotaped it because the way we had it set up, there
was decapitation ropes everywhere.
Yeah, that's true.
You go walking, don't walk without a headlamp around our campsites.
Dory ripped out 3 ropes like in a row because he thought he's the one that put the rope there and then ran into the rope.
I'm like, guys, don't hit the ropes. I hit the ropes.
He's the guy who gets caught in his own net.
But I'm just saying that the cool part about it was we were dry no matter what. The rain was not going to penetrate. I don't think it would have got through the canvas on the pop-up, but you can't take that chance when you're camping for a week. Stuff gets wet and ruins everything. So we had that going. Plus we had hangover. So we was able to put our totes, our coolers, our hunting stuff that we weren't using every day up underneath there. It worked out good. We have plenty of space. It was just
stayed dry, stayed warm.
Stayed dry. They had
decent.
Yellow Creek campsite did a great job. They kept the water open. We had showers, toilets. I mean that is a game changer on a long trip. Like, talking about 3 guys in a camper, there's some bright smells that get rolling around. And,
the showers was definitely the go-to part because we had to deal with each other's stank for 7 days
Not
straight.
just like the stink. It's like a morale booster. Like
It wasn't the tent. Nothing against tent camping, but when you have a guy that sleeps on the other side of the wall from the tent that brings the poop bucket in the tent and poops in the lantern so I get to see his shadow puppet while he's pooping, I just was not a good. And then 3 days of ripe ass. It just wasn't. Yeah, I was pissed. I was actually yelling, and Ricky and another guy that we had with us was laughing so hard they about threw up. I was about to throw up, and it wasn't from laughing. It's because he shit next to me within like 3 feet.
I did. 100%.
Yeah, so the camper was great in the secondary bathrooms, and they had outhouses like every 50, 60 yards, like the porta johns. It was really nice.
You know what? I brought a shit bucket, and that's what it is.
Yeah, but
you put a bag in it. I mean, yeah.
But outside the tent, because I have to hear your farts go in the bucket 3 feet from my cot. That's just not cool.
For your cots,
that's what I said. Another, I will say this: the hospitality from the people of PA was not like Ohio at all. Ohio, you asked for permission.
No offense, Ohio.
Yeah,
but come on, we got it.
We are not very nice to, especially. I know we're not very nice to out-of-staters when they ask to hunt our land because we're kind of protective. We do have big bucks here in Ohio, but I tell you right now, PA is proven to be kind of a sleeper state because we've seen some bucks up there that I wouldn't shake a stick at if they were here either.
Oh man, there's one that we found that was huge.
We jumped. We'll get into some of the scouting stories, but I want to give a shout out to the private land people in PA. We stopped to talk to people at their house about bow hunting, deer hunting. The deer hunting and gun hunting routes there run so deep. It's crazy that bow hunting, they'll hand you the keys to the farm. It's crazy if you're a bow hunter.
And there's a lot of bow hunters too. It's like they understand other bow hunters and they share their land well because it's their land. They don't have to do that, but it's awesome that they do.
An example before we start getting to some of the stories, like we got permission to hunt like this 1,000-acre groomed farm, which we were shocked. Come to find out that there was like 30 other people hunting it, which, I mean, it is what it is.
There's more pressure than any public I've ever been on here in Ohio.
But I've seen more deer on that pressured land than I've ever seen on any public land. And the guys that killed bucks, there's a group of dudes that killed bucks, 2 bucks, pretty much like within 60, 70 yards of where we were sitting up at. And they ended up talking with them.
Yeah.
And they gave us, after they tagged out, they gave us permission to send any stand of theirs that they wanted.
I mean, they saw guys in the group that hadn't tagged out.
Yeah, and they gave
were
us
just
permission.
Really cool. They said, I have like 30 stands out on this property. If you guys want to sit in them, sit in them. And I'm like, really? We didn't. We had our mobile setups, but it's still cool that they did that. Yeah. And for some reason, I mean, I don't know if the PA hunters are better, if they know how to hunt the property, but we've still seen a lot of deer even with that much pressure on that.
I think that one day when those guys showed up, one of them like almost walked underneath me. I whistled as loud as I could. I don't think he heard me, so I just kind of motioned with my foot because I was up in the tree, so you couldn't really see as much. So I was just kind of waving him off with my foot, just letting him know I was there. He could have walked past me. I ended up setting up like, I don't know, 20, 30 yards from where one of his stands was setting. And I didn't see it.
Right.
Because I didn't go past where I was. I set up in the tree that I liked. And like an hour later, I had deer running behind me.
Yeah.
And that was one of the times that I missed. So.
And he just made the adjustment, moved to one of his other stands, and he actually ended up killing a buck and thanking Rick. Because he's been sitting in that stand, it pushed him out of his comfort zone to sit in one of the other stands you'd have confidence in, and he ended up killing a buck that night.
I mean, they doubled up. They doubled up that night, yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to give a shout out for that. And what you said about maybe them being a better hunter, I think Ohio people freak out when they see pressure and they drive off.
First of all, PA you can't bait.
No,
Ohio,
you can't bait.
You can't. Ohio makes it really easy to kill a buck. And I've done it. I've been there. I still try to do it. I still bait because the neighbors bait. And
even with a bait state, it's not easy to kill a buck.
It's not. It makes it harder in some regards. That's why we were surprised how much deer we've seen. They can't bait. So the deer still have a big
natural... You get to
natural...
primary food sources or natural food sources like acorns. They have a lot of crops out there. There's a lot more crops in the side of PA that we thought there were. But about the hunter thing, I think they have a better understanding of adapting to pressure and taking advantage of the spots that they can slip into real quick and a lot of times it works. So those are spots that we would not think about, and those are like anybody watches any kind of like hunt shows. Those are like the the parking lot bucks that are right next to the parking lot bedded up. Like that's the kind of same situation. So they take advantage of the spots that aren't pressured because they are so used to pressure that they move around it, kind of like Johnny Stewart does. He likes to hunt around pressure because he can predict where the deer is going to funnel to.
Right, they're going to find that little area, that little nook that people aren't. That's just how big bucks get to be big
hunters
bucks.
that can do that are killers, and we're still working on that part. We see some pressure, we dang, and we move out when we probably should push in a little bit further. But
I think the fact they hunt a pressured state a lot, PA, they got a lot of competition from other hunters. I just think it makes them better hunters, and the fact that they hunt natural movement. If you had a piece of 100 acres here in Ohio and you could feed the deer, especially early season, if you could catch one on a pattern and you're smart with your winds and your thermals, you could get a buck on the ground on private. Pretty simple.
One thing I will say that I've seen time and time again, we do it here.
Oh yeah.
Is you got like 100-acre square piece of land, right? And you go into the middle of it and put your bait, and then you walk in there to deer hunt, and you already in the middle of the property, you push the deer off the property because you put the food so far into it, the food plot. I think if you have like a square piece of property, put the food up front, walk in the minimal you can. If you push deer, you're pushing deer back, but they're still on your property, and you can still have them held up. I think that's one thing.
Oh yeah. You
feed to the front of your property, push the deer to your back, make parts of your land all deer all day. Yeah. That you don't go into, but we can get into more than that, just different tips. But to continue with the PA stuff, our scouting day, which was that Sunday, the first Sunday,
hunt in PA,
no Sunday hunting, which makes it hard for the weekend warrior. But I get it.
It's tradition. It's split. Yeah. It's like
you can hunt one Sunday during gun,
yeah,
which is cool. It allows the weekend warrior that probably going to be a gun hunter anyways to go in there and try to get her done. But we walked a lot Sunday. We ended up walking
misty rain.
Yeah, it was actually kind of perfect to scout in because you can see fresh deer tracks, you can see the crossings, and it covers your scent up.
I think we walked like close to.
It was 6 miles almost.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a lot for some chunks. One super chunk, I can tell you that. But
it's not easy either walking in Pennsylvania. They got those little rock boulders,
dude,
and it's hard on the ankles. You gotta work your ankles out before you go to PA.
I was so glad I bought new boots before we went.
Me too. While I was there, actually.
I've heard of out of state people from like Iowa talking about coming to Ohio and complaining about shale rock. I will walk on shale rock for 300 miles. Rather than sit there and try to walk through a flattened PA that has buried boulders that are covered in moss and grass that you will clack your ankle on every 10 feet. I mean, it was crazy.
It was kind of
crazy. Walking through cornfield.
With boulders.
You're walking through a cornfield to your spot, and you're tripping over rocks. Rocks this big. And halfway buried, so as soon as you hit it, you just... gone.
Let's just say if you're an equipment mechanic in PA, you're probably making great money because the boulders are cracking every piece of equipment you have.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. It was crazy.
And they form in
the glacier deposits, I guess.
They form in the craziest of spots. You'll look up on the side of this mountain, they got corn, and then soybeans, corn, all the way down the hill in like strips. And it's crazy.
Oh, the contour farming thing that they do. Yeah, that's kind of like an old school method that you don't see much around here anymore.
We come back to Ohio, I don't want to hear anybody in Ohio complain about they don't have the right property to plant on. You go to PA, they'll plant on their driveway if they can.
Yeah, if they can do it, they'll do it. I was pretty impressed with that.
Over there drill seeding through pavement.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But
they did I think the commission, the PA commission, and that antler restriction, it must be helping.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, we see some good deer.
Yeah, we did.
And there's
some beautiful land out there.
It's beautiful land. There's a lot of deer. There's good deer numbers for sure.
I tell you right now, within the next 5-6 years, you're going to start hearing more and more and more about PA.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
I say PA breaks top 5 places.
Yeah.
Especially when the tag's cheap. Anybody can go look up the top.
It wasn't bad. I mean, it was a 6-hour drive for us, right? 5?
4.
Was it 4?
4 and a half-ish.
Well, with that traffic we had on the way down there.
Yeah, but 4, when we got back, I got back in 4 hours, which ain't bad, but it's just like, I don't know. I mean, I'm never gonna be a spot burner, so I'm gonna tell you exactly where we went. But it seemed like a good area. If you go to PA, which we're gonna go back for turkey, because when you buy a license in Pennsylvania, they give you a spring and fall turkey tag with it. When you buy, I mean, it's awesome. I don't know exactly how much money, but it was under $200.
I think it was like 140.
Something like that.
140. That was your license
with the doe tag.
Your either sex
yeah.
tag, and then a spring and fall turkey.
Right.
Tag.
The only thing is goofy is the doe permit, which they started out giving
by unit.
By unit.
Yeah.
Whatever unit we were hunting, which I remember, I'm not going to say it just because.
I thought you were going to slip up that.
No. People that hunt there and they work hard, they don't deserve to get their spot burnt. That's
yeah, it wouldn't be as big of a deal if we didn't run into anybody, but we talked to a lot of people that have been hunting that area forever, and out of respect for them, out of respect for the out-of-state game, I think the problem with a lot of things is once people hunt that state once and they don't like it, they'll burn the spot, and they'll post it like this place sucked or something like that, and then now all the people that have been hunting that property the right way, probably better than the people that went in and hunted and put more effort into it.
Oh, I would rather somebody say a spot sucks that I hunt.
Yeah.
I'm like cool with that. Yeah, tell them, no, there's no deer in Ohio. I hope everybody knows that. No deer in Ohio.
None whatsoever.
But it's the people that work hard, they kill a nice buck, and then they say, I killed this in such and such county on this public land. Oh my God. Like the next year, the guy can't get back in there to hunt his spot. Like it's kind of jacked up.
Well, we've been dealing with that. We don't even talk about anywhere we hunt at, just because you put in the work. You kind of want to keep some stuff to yourself. Like it's like your favorite hunting hole fishing. Right. You're not going to tell somebody where this sunken tree's at that has 10-pound or 10-inch crappie slabs on it.
I know all about that. I know all about giving up a secret fishing spot,
and then you're screwed.
And then I go there and. They won't bite whatever I throw because they're used to used to everything.
Yeah. But and then we get
no
there.
No offense, Jen. Fish that pond all you want to. I don't care.
Yeah, it's yours now.
Sore subject.
But what I'm trying to get at here is like we hunt an area. It seems like we have damn near the whole place to ourselves for 1 year, and the next year we go back. Like it happened to us last year and this year.
And a lot of it is just people are getting
word of
mouth. The public.
And public exploded during COVID because nobody had anything else to do besides get out in the woods and
That's what got me into hunting.
Yeah.
Well, that and people are doing the same thing we're doing. They're talking about overlooked spots and how public hunting is good, and there's nothing against that. It's just going to give you more people in the woods, which ultimately, as hunters, we want more license sold, more people getting involved in the outdoors. It's just something we got to adjust to.
I do want to say one thing. I want to say that I wish Ohio did a little better with their game commissions and the money they're putting into public land.
Right.
I'll say that out
loud.
loud.
It's council. They have a wildlife council. Which
because other states, we've been to 3 now. West Virginia, Kentucky, and PA.
Pennsylvania, yeah.
And we are kind of falling behind the 8 ball with how they're taking care of.
Yeah, we kind of get the background. We just drove through some today. I mean, God, the gravel roads, which are county roads, county. There I go.
Oh, PA seeping out there.
County roads.
Go down to Altoona.
But county roads. Wow.
If you want to tip
county roads. They sucked today, but it was inside the state area that we were in, and I was like, is it the state? I don't know who does it, but it's not that. So parking spots are littered with trash. They don't take care of them. They're rutted up. There's really little things that I've seen in other states that they do. It seems like not a lot, but it makes a huge difference.
Every parking spot in PA public had a trash can.
Oh, yeah. West Virginia.
No, we're in PA. Every spot
West
around
Virginia.
West Virginia too. Kentucky didn't, but can I tell you right now, Kentucky's land, 95% of it's vertical.
Well, that area we're in eastern Kentucky.
That's walking.
And eastern Kentucky is a big area.
Yeah.
And it's got good hunting, but it's not for a faint of heart. Western Kentucky, you start to get a little bit more Midwest in Western Kentucky, so it's not as bad. But yeah, I like Kentucky. I thought it was cool. I think the turkey population is amazing.
Booming.
I didn't go with you guys to Kentucky.
We had a private piece of property that got sold, but if we would have turkey hunted at that time,
we'd have killed it.
It'd have been like fish in a barrel. There was so many turkey there.
So many turkey. And then when I took my son during their free youth season, which I think is awesome, that they do a free youth hunt. We stayed in a cabin and we hunted, and we called a turkey in.
We need to talk about your vocabulary. I don't mean to talk. I don't mean to cut you off, but we need to talk about your vocabulary. We need to find a synonym for awesome.
It's awesome. Well, it's the same guy that does
it's awesome sauce. Okay.
And orange and
underwears.
Man, his dad does Sierra mix and pancakes, so he gets it honest.
All I'm saying is Kentucky had dead turkey on the side of the road. That's crazy.
Yeah, you got turkey getting hit by cars. You got a lot of turkey.
You got a lot of turkey.
Yeah, but
Kentucky was cool.
Get back. I guess we went off. We're looked like the
you
kings of tangents.
My turkey mind is coming because somebody's tagged out in Ohio, and my turkey mind is
video coming soon.
So I'm thinking about turkey now. Just not the boats. Just saying.
Yeah.
Pretty
I just want to let you know the video that you see should have been shot by somebody else, but a certain somebody got a little trigger happy.
If you're sitting with Jeff,
if you're
sitting with Jeff, trigger happy.
We didn't say I'm just a cameraman though.
I mean, I'm not mad.
When you're sitting with Jeff, you're shooting second. How many times have I sat with you since then?
You're second limited. Banana for sure.
Yeah, very limited.
I mean, I was ready. I had the gun ready.
It don't matter, bud.
And it was. Hold on. Shh. I was like, are you shooting this deer? No answer for.
If it's silent,
at least 30 seconds.
That's because when he's in that mode, he can't even remember his name. You ask him, no words.
30 seconds, I got no answer. I was like, are you going to shoot
I call it going to kill mode. Like, everything else is a blur. I'm in this tunnel vision.
Well, I wanted to make sure somebody got it on film. I was like, are you going to shoot this deer or am I going to shoot this deer? Because somebody's going to shoot this deer and I need to know if it's going to be you or me.
It's really
no answer until...
That's when you take your phone out.
It's just
you
me.
Hear,
boom.
You hear the camera, you're like, oh, I better film this.
I heard the hammer go back and I was like,
yep.
I'm going to go ahead and do this.
No.
Yeah, I tell you what, it was a long season. I hunted a lot. We all did.
Well, I didn't get to hunt as much this year.
But we hunted hard when we hunted.
Yeah.
And I think Rick's hunted more than you ever had in your life this year.
Rick hunted more than I did this year.
I mean, at least once a week.
Passed on a doe tonight, which is fine.
Passed on a doe, but tomorrow
I ain't passing on.
It was definitely a split decision, and he made a decision which I think he might regret a little. But hey,
I had a month. I had a month left.
You do have a month left.
But I'm telling you what.
I didn't get skunked this year. I got one deer, but I still need to get a buck.
Good public land deer too.
Yeah,
it was a
good
deer.
shot. It was worst position ever to shoot a deer in. As far as like where we're at in the public land.
All right, what's everybody's position on this? Because I think everybody.
You switching gears?
Yeah. I just want to ask this question. All right, public land versus private land. When you post a buck and you state underneath that post, nice public land buck. Got this on private land, and then you just kind of so it. I think that's crap because I think that the private that we hunt down here.
I think it's crap.
I do. I think the private that we hunt here gets more pressure than the public that I hunt closer to my house.
Listen, a farm buck, in my head, in our farm buck,
yes,
is better than any public land buck you could ever shoot because this deer's seen some shit.
I've seen 3 years old on public land that almost you could walk up to. This, I would say, probably a 3-year-old I shot, maybe 3.5. It was sketched out the whole time, and to get one in the daylight around here. No matter if you're using corn pile, a food plot, like it really does take some effort and pattern them out because they run on like different cycles, like a 3-day rotation or whatever they do here. I haven't even figured it out, but you just got to find good weather fronts, good wind for your sit, and you got to get a little bit lucky.
And good wind is not going to be good for you.
And you can have but you can have all those going. And a guy can come down on a 4-wheel and do donuts in the field next to you, and you get screwed over. That's just how it is down here.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's a bunch of big chunk of big woods, but they're cut up in small parcels. Everybody's got a food what is it? A feeder,
a feed pile,
a cell camera, a 4-wheeler trail, a box blind. Like it is rough.
Oh,
but it's fun because that's why we're here in America. It's just
last year, me and Jeff.
We get to own stuff like that.
Was it last year? We seen the police chase or the year before?
Oh yeah,
we were sitting
that
in the chase stand.
was the same year we had the hey Jeff, just bring the camera. It's the same weekend. I'm pretty sure. Was it not?
No, it was the weekend before.
Oh yeah.
I didn't want to talk about that.
We've seen it full on police chase.
We watched this meth head get chased by a cop car, and me and Jeff were like, "You would have thought we were in Greater Columbus." And it was just, that was honestly, all we could do was laugh. And then we had the next night we had 20 deer in my field.
Bleak County is crazy. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Question mark county is nuts.
It can get crazy out here.
Yeah. But plans for, okay, what was one hard learning curve you felt this year that you can use going into next year?
Oh my God, I need to learn to really hone in on, and we just talked about this.
Not switch up
my property that I'm hunting on. I like to jump around too much. I'll know there's a good deer here, and just because I want to hunt somewhere else and avoid it and just go somewhere else. And switching the gear up. I'm sticking with what I got for now. I've got a few different things, but I went through all kinds of gear. Hence all the gear review. We buy most of it ourselves. And my wife knows about it, so
Was that your disclaimer?
Yeah, my wife knows what I buy, so she knows how much money I spend on hunting. And
we got the same bag.
That buck, she let me know, or the doe that I got earlier in the season, whatever the case may be, she lets me know we could have just bought 4 cows and been good.
Yeah.
We could have butchered a whole beef and been better off financially. But hey, I like to hunt. That's just what it is. So, but anyways, switching stuff up. I want to stick to a property. We actually just sit down and pick 3 good chunks of property and said, if we're hunting public, this is what we're hunting. And then we're going to look at our private parcels that we have knock on door permission, or our own private property that we have in the family farm thing going. We're going to look at that and really concentrate, because I've got 12 properties I like to bounce through. And that's just too much.
One thing I see with you is you'll get intel. You'll get a puzzle piece, and then move to the next without getting the rest of the puzzle.
Right, I just have a bunch of puzzle pieces from different puzzles.
He's got corner pieces for
I had a 3-year-old take my puzzle cabinet and just throw it on the ground and mix it up and said, "Here's 5 pieces, make a puzzle."
You are the 3-year-old that did it.
I know. That's the bad
Rick,
part.
what was one hard learning curve for you this year that you're probably going to take it next year?
Practice. Fine tune. Being in Pennsylvania, I didn't really shoot my bow. I shot it a couple times leading up into the season, and I felt like I was on, but we got out to Pennsylvania and I was missing, and next thing I know I'm at the camp shooting, trying to get it dialed in, finally get it dialed in, and then never get another shot. So, summertime, take your time, practice. Make sure everything's good to go. Make sure you practice with the arrows you're going to shoot with.
Once we got it.
Make sure you practice with your broadheads that you're going to shoot with, and just get it dialed in. Get ready to go, because you never know when that shot's coming.
And I learned. You're not the only one that struggled with this. This is something that I've yelled at Jeffrey for. Yeah. I said, you're going to spend all this money fine-tuning your setup as far as your tree stand, your saddles, but then don't have a kisser button on your bow. Your peep sight wasn't even set for you. It was who you bought it from. Why would you do all this work and the equipment that you're actually going to use to kill the deer, that you're on night times, if you get a shot on a good buck, you're not going to get a shot on a good buck twice, a lot of times. And then that's the part of your system that failed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I kind of learned that lesson with the muzzleloader thing last year.
Yeah.
I didn't shoot it before we went out because I thought, it's nailed on. The year before, I killed a nice deer. Well, I ended up wounding an animal. And that's what happens. Wounding, it's unethical. It's not a very good way to do it. We've all been there. Rick, you're lucky you missed completely, because my problem is I don't. And I've had instances where I've wounded the animal, and then
you start second guessing everything.
You feel shitty for one. You're wounding an animal.
If you don't feel bad. If you make a bad shot and you don't recover that deer, then you should.
Granted, it is part of archery. It does happen. Sometimes you can make a perfect shot and the animal can react and something can happen. But you should take as many variables out as possible by being the best archer that you can be. So shoot your bow every day. Shoot your gun before you go out, especially via muzzleloader. I've seen it happen a lot during muzzleloader season. That thing will sit in the case all year. Your kid might have came by and kicked the case across the floor on accident. It was like, oh, pick the case up, put it back in the closet, and you think you're good. And before you know it, you're shooting a buck 10 inches high and to the right.
Almost in the neck.
Or in the neck.
In the throat patch.
Yeah. I mean, honestly.
You did that, yeah.
I did it. And it feels crappy, and it's not a fair thing to do to the animal. It's not a good thing to do for yourself. You put time, and then you get down on yourself. You feel horrible. Like, I feel like crap afterwards. Oh. Whether you miss it completely, you hit it, you feel really bad. You miss it, you feel sorry for yourself. You can avoid some of that, not all of it.
You're not gonna
you
avoid
hit branches, you can slip, you can just
good old buck fever could take over. I mean,
then we'll talk about that. I got a bad case of it tonight.
This morning?
This morning, yeah.
This morning.
I mean, I got the full on.
It's muzzleloader season right now when we film this, and Jeff fires off one, and he gets one. We don't know if it's dead. We don't know where it is, and his reaction while trying to reload was, I'm going to dump everything out on the ground and then I'm going to get another one out of my pocket, and I lost everything except for the cap. Now I need to get this cap.
The time after the shot takes place to, like, you grab your quick load, it would always be the most frantic, unless you see that deer just drop and you got a chance to chill. If you think you have to do another shot,
it turned out.
Well, yeah.
In all honesty, I'm surprised he didn't say, Rick, give me your cap, because his fell. It was gone. It was down.
Well, I had to open up the third one just to get the cap, so now I'm sitting there with no shots. Just one more shot. So
it's happened to the best of us.
Yeah, them little primers.
I'm gonna go back to what I said. Practice how you want to hunt too.
Yeah.
Because hunting, if you're standing on the ground when you're shooting your bow, and you go, however high you want to hunt, 3 feet, 10 feet, 12 feet, 15 feet, however high you go in your tree, practice how you hunt, whether saddle, tree stand, climber, box blind, whatever you're hunting from, practice from that spot.
Oh, yeah.
Don't just try to raw dog out there, and especially if you're new, because I'm really new to like the saddle hunting thing. I mean, I've only hunted with a compound bow for maybe 2 years, and I've only taken a handful of shots at a deer. Most of my shots have been into a target, but I never did really practice the shot in a saddle, so I didn't know the angle. You don't turn, you don't move your arms, because that changes every trajectory you have. You rotate your hips and angle your body more towards where you're aiming, and that's something that I didn't practice. So that could be why I was missing high on a few of those deer.
I would say more likely, because that's what most people miss high, because of that right there. You change the string angle and the peep angle; it's all different, and it's usually makes you have to raise the bow up, shoots high. I mean, you don't keep that T formation. And it's really easy to do. I have a tree stand. It's easy to do. I think a saddle is a little bit easier to shoot out of. So I'm going to get a little off topic. But now that I've hunted out a saddle, tree stand, saddle, I did like a full year in a saddle. I've done a full year in a tree stand. Now I do that hybrid. And I think it's so important, especially if you hunt low like we do, and sometimes there's not a lot of cover, you can put that tree in between you and the deer. You can't do that with a tree stand. Now, can you stand up and blend in? Yeah. But I really, truly believe having a small, compact tree stand as your saddle platform, because now you really don't need a huge pack for the saddle. You have the tree stand. Excuse me. You have the tree stand. And
it's midnight right now.
It is midnight. And you can stand up and make your strong side shot and your weak side shot. You literally have every option in the book. If you have a tree stand, you tend to limit yourself. You can get up and turn around, but you're doing a lot of movement, or you can have just a saddle platform and you're doing that same amount of movement to get the weak side shot.
Yeah.
So why not give yourself the best of both worlds? Either get a bigger platform, it doesn't have to be a tree stand, but one that you can easily stand up and rotate on and get that shot, or you might get up there and find out they're coming from a different direction than what you originally thought.
Especially if you're hanging in the dark.
Yeah, especially. But you're giving yourself options that way, and to really think about how you're going to be shooting your predominant trail and set up to that, but always know that you have an option to do something else. Because it messes with your mind a little bit on setup.
And we do have, hold on a second, Kyle. We do have a couple of videos on the YouTube channel that you can check out that Jeff goes into detail about what platform that he likes and he uses. And he's been using it since he's got it in this hybrid setup that he likes. So go check that out and see if you like that saddle. I mean, it could be different platform, could be different saddle, but find what you like that fits you.
Yeah. What do you think?
One learning curve, back to the learning curve, that I had this year was practice. If you're going to jump into something new, my thing that I folded on this year was we did some reviews on it. I did a little bit of jump up in the saddle from the ground and the platform, stuff like that. But the game changes so much when I started off the year trying to hang the sticks without a lineman's belt. Don't do that. It's a pain in the ass. I found that out because when you can lean back into it, first of all, it takes a lot of stress off your legs if you get to lean back into your lineman's belt, and it frees up to hang the platform. I've gotten higher this year because I've been tethered in the whole entire time now, and so it's a lot easier to pendulum myself back. But also, and I don't really hear many people talk about it, pack your packs in chronological order with what you're going to be taking out of them. I found that out the first couple sets where I had my lineman's belt underneath my camera arm, underneath my lifeline rope, and then
your gear strap.
My gear strap. One thing that I found this year to help me is I get to the tree stand, I take my pack off, pull the sticks off, pull the platform off, grab my bow hanger strap, put it in my pocket, put the backpack back on, hang up, and then put the bow strap on, or the gear strap, hang my bag on it, and then I can get the rest of my stuff out.
I don't know who said this, but at some point in time somebody said this, and when it comes to this, it's so true. Slow and smooth is fast. When you're talking about mobile setups, fast and chaotic is slow and noisy and clanky, and you just don't want it. Yeah. So slow, smooth equals fast. You get better as you go, and you build this system where you know where everything's at. It doesn't matter what you do, but in general, this right here, it's just money.
I'd rather take a little longer to do stuff right the first time than to do stuff quick and then have to fix it.
Yeah.
Found that out the hard way. Also, don't sit in pine trees when it's raining. Found that out too.
Yeah, it's pretty.
You sap all over your hands. It's not cool. I thought it was gonna be awesome to hunt in pine trees, but it's not that fun.
Yeah, we found that out the hard way.
Yeah, my hand was sticky for a week.
I could have caught a baseball though with my pinky.
Oh yeah. We definitely had to stick them.
Yeah, we had to stick them.
Oh yeah, we could have Randy Mossed everything. But I guess it's already late. We can kind of wrap it up on some stuff. Any closing stuff you want to talk about, Rick?
I can't express how happy that I am personally with 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
I mean,
oh my God, that's the sweetest thing ever.
We got excited about 50 9 months ago.
The amount of people that have supported us throughout the short journey that we've had to 1,000 subscribers, I mean, it's tremendous.
I feel it.
Our Facebook page is growing every day. Our YouTube is growing every day. And I think the giveaways helped. I hope that, what was her name, Sarah?
Yeah.
Sarah enjoys.
The giveaway winner?
Yep. Actually, I just shipped that out yesterday.
Sarah, your stuff's coming.
It's coming.
On the way.
You probably won't listen to this, but if you do, we appreciate it. Who would listen to that?
Well, we're going to put the video on YouTube. I mean. This is a video podcast.
Ah,
we'll put it on different playlists.
Yeah, this is, and I think this is how we're probably gonna do podcasts going forward.
I should have said
we're gonna have an
poop
audio
shit.
file too, but
Well, I mean, we'll probably put a separate playlist for a lot of these. I mean, if we do these podcasts like this, they'll be on a separate playlist. That way, the people that don't want to watch podcasts can watch the hunting videos. People that want to watch our podcast, if you guys like, us three sitting here, dicking around, talking to you guys, you can go to that playlist.
Give us some material to talk about. I mean, in our comments.
controversial stuff. I mean, we'll talk about anything pretty much.
Yeah, like that buck that supposedly got poached. I don't know enough about it to pass judgment on it. Yeah. I'm waiting to hear about that because I'm really interested. But I've been watching podcasts about it. I'd like to talk about it, but I'm waiting.
Speculation.
I'm waiting to see how that plays out because I don't want to incriminate nobody before they get.
There's a lot of stuff that we can talk about coming up, like Ohio's going to make a decision on whether they're going to do a feed state, cellular cameras. There's a lot of moving parts that are going to cause a lot of buzz that we're going to be talking about. Yeah,
CWD creeps in, and
it's predominantly due to feed sites.
I mean, it's not due to feed sites, but it does not help. It does not help the spread of it.
No.
And what does, nobody really knows how it can be stopped, but they can put some regulations to slow it down. World. I mean, it's like the Black Plague of the deer world, what they're saying. If you believe in all that, there is some controversy around that too. I mean, let's get into it on another podcast. It'd be pretty fun.
I've only seen like 2 deer in my entire life that actually look like they're sick. This you can't see it, but there's a buck up here. It's right here. Shout out to Mark for shooting that absolute giant. I think it measures like 60 inches total and 50 or 40 or 30.
Yeah, it was something wrong with
This deer was like, we pulled it out and the heart looked like it was like spider web see-through. It was I wish we'd have took pictures of it. It was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. It looked like a zombie deer. He shot at this deer 3 times and it didn't run. It just stood there.
Well, neither did those 2 doe that I shot at in Pennsylvania.
That deer committed suicide that day. It was hurting, but I'm glad we put it down.
It seemed like it. I mean, it could be parasites. It could be all kinds. It could be heartworms. I mean, who knows?
The amount of sicknesses we have, you don't think there's crazy sicknesses in the deer world?
Oh, they probably sure are.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just like everybody wants a topic to talk about. What's the talk of the town? So, I mean, it's what it is. But closing out for me, the biggest thing I want to feed off is like Rick said. I mean, we didn't think we'd even be where we're at right now. And 1,000 subscribers doesn't seem like a lot to a lot of people. But I mean, it's a lot. I mean, it's 1,000 more than we started this just 9 months ago.
We started in April of 2023.
Yeah. And
that's when GGC became the thing.
It's pretty cool. So
and we're looking forward to the rest of this gun season, our muzzleloader.
And then the rest of the bow until February 3rd.
Yeah, and then right around the corner, boom, turkey season.
And then we'll be fishing and turkey season and pre-season scouting and maybe some food plots.
Once again, ask my wife. She knows that the outdoor season for Jeff never ends. It's a cycle.
Just so you guys know, Rick is ready for fishing because January 2nd, I went to my pond that I like to go to, and I did catch 1 bass, but it was pretty small. So Rick's ready for fishing. I'm itching to get out there and fish.
And I think I'm ready for turkey season.
I'm ready for turkey season.
There's nothing better than the old thunder chickens and busting them in the dome piece. I love it.
The dome. That was kind of psycho.
Nothing better than busting them thunder chickens in the dome piece, brother.
Dome headshot.
316. Do I have some beer I can smash over my head here?
Old Nacho Man Randy Sandwich over here. No, but we appreciate everybody that subscribed, everybody that's tuned in to watch it. Anybody that's watched our shorts, you've seen my dad's video of the cigarette, the Marlboro Man, David.
Cigarette. Let's get that clear.
Yeah, it was actually,
it was a cigarette.
To clarify, there's a lot of videos in that.
Hey, it's legal here in Ohio now, so it can be whatever they want.
It can. They can now, I guess. But
yeah.
No, it definitely was a cigarette.
You're going to see, I mean, at the end of the day, hunting is a tradition. It's a family thing for me and Jeff.
Yeah.
But Rick's a first-generation deer hunter in his family.
I hope to pass down.
In general.
I hope to pass down hunting to my kids. Definitely fishing. I hope to pass it down. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's addicting.
It is.
It's different.
It's a concept that's hard to understand if you're not from it, but once you do it, it's addicting.
Right, everybody's like, okay, so the end goal, what is it? Shoot a deer, yeah. But that is not why we do it. It ain't even just that, it's just being outdoors. I love being outside. I like hanging my setup. I like the challenge of finding a tree that I think a deer is going to walk by. And sometimes them deer will walk by and you may not get a shot at them, but you feel like you did something right.
I'll tell you this right now. I look at the woods with multiple different things. It's a place where I can actually relax and get peace and quiet.
Right.
And that's not saying anything bad towards anybody. It's just like it's the most peaceful place you'll ever be.
It is.
It's a place where I'm not a guy, and I don't go to church. I believe in God. I don't go to church. But when I'm in the woods, that's the closest you're going to get to God because you're around all that.
I believe it
cool.
too. I mean, I feel like I guess there's a spirit in it. It's spiritual for me.
Spiritness. He's making words up now.
No, but it is. It's like I feel connected to everything. I feel like this is. I mean, not because I'm like you said. I'm pretty much like you. I believe in what I believe, but I think that if you do believe in anything spiritual or a creator or however you believe, just go into the woods and watch a dark morning turn into a bright blue, sunny, cool morning.
Just listen to the woods.
Just
wake
watch
up.
it wake up.
I was gonna say, there's nothing better than sitting out there and hearing the woods wake up.
If you don't believe in something divine or something amazing, just listen to how.
Divine?
Yes.
He's expanding his vocabulary.
I told you guys.
It's not awesome anymore. It's divine.
He said, "Would you listen to Governor Divine?"
I've been learned. Okay.
You've been learned.
I'm a learned.
Now if we can just get you to stop saying literally.
I'm a learned doctor.
Or awesome.
That's what I said. Awesome is.
If you guys want a good drinking game to play, every time Jeff says literally or awesome, you take a drink, you're hammered by the end of the video. Guaranteed.
No doubt.
Hammered.
No, but no, I'm just saying. Like I think I'm with you guys on that. Just get out in the woods and experience what has been created for you. Just get out there, experience it, and just grit some dirt underneath your nails. There's nothing wrong with it.
Put down the analog stick, pick up a stick, go out there and fire it at something.
or just get out there and touch the dirt. Just touch it. If you like to mushroom hunt, just don't do it in front of me when I'm turkey hunting, and I have no issues with it whatsoever.
For real.
I run into more problems turkey season for mushroom hunters, but I eat those mushrooms. I understand. I get the addiction.
Morels. Let me clarify that.
Morels, yeah.
Oh, there was that one time you flipped over that cow patty. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
Jeffrey licked the window for like 45 minutes.
Yeah, I mean,
He said, yeah.
No.